Hey guys, what's up? So, welcome to the new video of the Road to Seven Figures. Um, yeah, well, I have a confession to make. So with these videos, like the original goal, or even with the Road to Seven Figures series, the original goal was kind of, to take people on a journey of what it's like, taking on a business from 6 to 7 figures. But then what it turned into is like, well, first there wasn't that much going on because I didn't really know what to do with it, and I didn't want to do more writing around it. Second thing is we've tried these daily videos, which have gotten a good response from, some of my biggest fans, from my clients. I think lots of people really like them, which is awesome. But deep down, I didn't enjoy doing them as much because I felt like, if I wanted to create these videos as content in terms of like, if I wanted to share this like one major lesson every time, I would need to take these videos to a whole nother level. So, if I wanted to use these videos for like to build an audience for YouTube, I'd probably have to create lots of different thumbnails. I'd have to, create better stories, better content. I'd have to, think about some SEO stuff and so on and so on. Lots of things that are great. I would also have to like look at different YouTube videos, analyze the stats, think about how I can get my videos suggested to other videos that, people are watching and so on and so on. All of that stuff is great. I have nothing against it. Just isn't that much fun for me. So as I've been running this experiment, I was thinking like, okay, this is great, but it's kind of like, I'm kind of not talking about the things, or I'm not sharing the things that I really wanted to share, which is like, I just wanted to take people on a journey of what it's like to build, to take a business of 6 to 7 figures. So it's not about sharing these tips about like, oh, reading a book a week or all of these things, even though these things are great. I kind of like, thought about it, when I was doing more and more of this, and I was like, oh, now I have to come up with like 10 video ideas of what I want to talk about. And, I want to batch record them and things like that. And I just like, it just didn't feel right to me. It felt like, okay, I'm doing all these things, but this is not what I want to do. And on the other hand, I really avoided, for whatever reason, avoided doing the things that I said I was going to do, which is like just shoot daily updates with things that are going on in my mind. And I don't know why, honestly, like I avoided that, but it's almost like, oh, maybe people aren't interested about like learning about the business side of things, or, maybe not that many interesting things happen on a day-to-day basis, or, like other people have told me I have to pick a certain topic to talk about, and so on and so on. There was always something, some kind of a, bullshit excuse in the back of my mind that prevented me from actually doing what I wanted to do. So today we're changing things. Today we're doing this differently because I haven't done videos in a week and I'm pissed off and I'm not happy. And because this is what I really wanted to do. And I just want to see, if people like it, if it sticks. Oh yeah, and the other thing is like, some people told me they want super professional videos. I have to change my background. I have to, change my guest bedroom because it looks like a prison bed. I've heard all kinds of feedback. And those things are going to happen, but they're not going to happen right now. Like I went to the store the other day, looked at like different paintings. There was like $300, dollars for, a painting. And I was like, I can get this. And it's totally fine. But then like, why would I spend that much money just to, I'm not cheap. I like good paintings, but it's like to buy that just to make a video background better. It's like, yeah, I can figure it out, but it's like, it's not going to make my videos 10 times better. So yeah, we're going to be changing the background. We're going to be doing all of these things. But right now, I just don't want to even worry about any of that stuff. And I want to do this video series really in my way, because I think, as online entrepreneurs, we always have, this, lots of us have this thing like, we learn from other people and we get advice from mentors and courses and other people. And then we just end up doing things that, other people want us to do, but we don't really want to do. So with the series, I want this to really be something for me and for you guys, but it's just real raw. It's like things like this, I just share like, hey, this is what's actually going on in my life. So things that are going on in my life, things that I am excited about right now. So it's Monday. It's snowing a lot outside. Maybe I could actually look at that. So this is my like, yeah, there's people walking. This is like the view out of my office right now. Have like this train station and basically snowing, lots of snow. So yeah, what's going on? Well, first of all, I'm 5 weeks out from my powerlifting competition, so I'm preparing a lot for that. Having been those long workouts pretty much like all the time, like 2-3 hour workouts 4 times a week, which is, takes a lot of time. It's draining, but it's also awesome. So I have a competition in 5 weeks. I'm going to New York in a little bit less than 2 weeks, actually probably like a week and a half, to attend Derek Halpern's live mastermind. So that's exciting. I've been reading this book called The Tools of Titans from Tim Ferriss that I got as a gift, which I've been really liking so far. I think it's an interesting book. I've read like 70 pages of that. Also been reading Peak by Anders Ericsson, which is a book around deliberate practice and how you can kind of like, how the people who are the best in the world, what they do, became the best in the world, what they do. And then I'm thinking about constantly like, how do I apply that to business, to online business, which is something that I'll talk more about in the future. But that's something that I'm really excited about. And I'm also still reading a book that's called Made to Stick, which is, helping me come up with these more sticky ideas. Because if you look at some like blog posts they've written in the past, you'll notice that I started doing certain things. Like I started calling certain concepts something, because in the past I had like this, I had like this time when I didn't really talk about concepts, and I was like, oh, you should just do this, and I didn't call it anything. But then when I noticed, all of the other experts, it's like Ramit Sethi, he has his briefcase technique, or immersion strategy for customer research. He has his own concepts. Tim Ferriss has things like the slow carb diet, for example, or, certain protocols for, I don't really remember the names of, but like he has this, like, I think it's called the Occam's protocol for like strength gaining or something like that. Then you have people like Derek Halpern. He has the 80-20 promotion rule. He has the yes line. He has all of these different concepts spread throughout his courses, for his free content, things like that. So I want to get better at that, because I'm naturally not very good at like coming up with sticky ideas for names. But I'm reading this book and I'm trying to implement lots of the things that I learned from the book and try to come up with things. So we've created something for Ultimate Guide System. We've created something called the Niche Matrix, the Sticky Idea Vault. In some of my free content, you've seen things like, the economy class freelancers versus the first class freelancer, or like the Nike strategy for raising your rates, other things like that. So I'm just having fun with that, experimenting, and trying to create these new different techniques that people can actually remember. And I want to connect them with something that they're already familiar with. It's like, because people generally know what economy class is like. They can picture that, so they can understand how that looks like in terms of like being a freelancer or a consultant. Other than that, well, there's a lot of stuff going on. Over this weekend, took a nice trip to the seaside with my girlfriend, just to get some time off, to recover a bit. Last weekend also did the same thing. We went to, another city. So we went to this, just sleepover in Maribor, which is like the second largest city here in Slovenia. We went there. We had this cool suite with like a waterbed, which is awesome. Like waterbeds are amazing. Like, I don't know, you basically had this waterbed. It's basically consists like of 2 different waterbeds, and that are merged into one. So every person, the sleeping on the left or the right side, you can set up your own temperature of the water. So you can make the water as hot as like, 36 degrees Celsius, which is almost like jacuzzi temperature, right? And it's freaking awesome. You get into bed, it's like all floaty. And it's super, super warm. So especially when it's cold outside, like right now, you go into the bed and it's freaking awesome. So that was really cool. That was really fun. Also super good sleep quality on waterbed. So that was fun. Now I hate my regular bed and I want a waterbed someday. We also tried cryotherapy, which basically means going into this big barrel where they pour liquid nitrogen and they make it really, really cold, like minus, 160 degrees Celsius. And you're in there for like 2 minutes. It's really cold. And it's supposed to help you recover better. I don't know if it helps you recover better, but it is a cool experience. So I've been doing lots of different things, around recovery, been going to saunas, took an, ice cold bath yesterday. That was not fun. So I did that at home and that was just torture, but I'm getting used to it because I want to make it a part of my recovery. And also for my competition right now, I'm trying to lose weight because I do need to fit into a lower weight class for my lifting competition, which means no donuts and stuff like that. Because right now there's like this carnival time, the carnival thingy that you see in Rio de Janeiro. We're kind of doing something similar. It's been between that and like the Halloween type of thing when people dress up for costumes here in Slovenia and then they eat a lot of donuts. So I'm trying not to eat those. So that's been that's been an interesting experience, but so far everything's been going well. Those are things like outside of the business side. Within the business side, what's going on? Wrote a new blog post today about more like applying deliberate practice to online business. I want to write an ultimate guide around that in the future. As I said, I'm reading a lot about this subject and learning a lot about this subject. So that's just been interesting. Also, I'm starting a new interview series. I don't know when it's launching yet. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but I'm already recording the interviews because I noticed that I have lots of my clients and friends and mentors who have these really cool things that, they can share with my audience. And I was just like, hey, let's interview it about it. So today, for example, in like an hour or so, I'm talking to one of my clients who had this failed product launch, made like 3 sales of a new product that was like a totally disaster for her business. And then we worked with her together to make a new product launch, which was sold out in a week. And she actually had to send less emails out, that she intended because the launch was like sold out. And, and she wanted to get 10 spots for the program. I think she ended up getting 16 people that, she accepted and created 2 groups. So that's really exciting just to talk about that whole process. We have other stories that are really cool, like how one of my students went from 0 to 1,200 email subscribers in a month. We're going to talk about all about how she did it. I'm interviewing some of my mentors. Maybe you've seen me talk about Alan Kirchuri. He's one of my high performance coaches, the only high performance coach I have. But like I'm doing an interview with him on mental toughness and things like that. So it's just going to be a lot of fun, like lots of fun stuff that's coming up. I'll write more about deliberate practice. And my big vision for the future really is like, I want to figure out how to apply this deliberate practice to online business. And if you don't know what deliberate practice means, it means more purposeful practice. So instead of, for example, just writing endless blog posts and trying to improve your copywriting, you would actually have specific exercises to get better at copywriting, and then you would have like a coach give you feedback on them. So I want to crack the code to that, like how you can apply the deliberate practice process to online business so that you can improve faster. Because deliberate practice like has been used for years and years in things like sports. So when sportsmen, practice, shooting the football or making baskets, they always put in a lot of practice, but it's not just throwing and making the reps. It's always purposeful. It's always trying to improve yourself. It's always taking you outside of the comfort zone. You always have a coach that coaches you on things so you can improve and so on and so on. So I'm really trying to wrap my head around all of those things and then how it applies to business, because I think there's a huge opportunity for that, but nobody's really teaching it well, even though lots of experts are doing it. For example, like Ramit Sethi, an excellent copywriter. He has a copywriting course called Call to Action, which I think is a great course. But one of the things that's interesting for me is like, I've heard Ramit talk about how he actually got better at copywriting. And, for example, it started with him. He decided that he's going to become a great copywriter. And then he did things like, for example, he wrote one of his sales pages for one of his products 17 times to really improve it and make it good. Until, he got a version that he was happy with. And I'm interested in like, well, what did the first 16 reps look like? What did he change? How was the 17th, sales page version good, and different from all the other ones? Like, I want to get to the bottom of questions like that and see how I can apply that to my own business of like how I can create this practice so I can get really good at different, skills that I want to master. Because I think, yeah, there's tactics, there's things you can apply, but at the end of the day, you really have to learn these principles. You really have to practice things just like a violin player. Like a violin player doesn't, or a violinist is probably a better expression. They don't have this one magical technique that solves everything. It's about taking that one magical technique and repeating it for 1,000 hours until they're really good at it. And then they master a new technique, and then they learn how to play faster and so on and so on. So I'm just thinking, how do I take all of that and take it to online business? And that's what I'm really excited about right now. Other news, let's see. We launched the Top Performer Club, which was my group coaching program. It's basically business coaching for top performing entrepreneurs. It sold out, which is what I'm really excited about. We have a group of incredible entrepreneurs. We had the first call last Friday, and it was a long call. We talked for like 2 hours and 15 minutes, so we have to make it a little bit shorter. But it was really good. We looked at different sales funnels. We're already working on some sales strategy. We're working on new launches, things like that. I think we have an amazing group of students, which I'm so excited about, and they're already crushing it. Like in the WhatsApp group that we have, they're already sharing updates. They're already putting in the work. So I think it's just going to be an amazing group of people, you know, that are going to crush it this year, which is, yeah, just really, really exciting. And it's also like something that I want to write about in the future. I want to write a blog post about how we launched that program and designed it, because it is a program that started out as an experiment. And I think since, you know, starting out as an experiment, it brought in like over 40K, which is a lot of money for, you know, like a group coaching program. So yeah, lots of really exciting things have been going on in my life. And I don't know if I'll record videos like this every day, but this has definitely been fun. And I want to share more of these things like that I'm actually working on. Oh, one last thing that I almost forgot about is I'm also having a reading challenge for myself. So I'm giving myself a challenge to read as much as possible over the next month or so. And I want to track that in like this spreadsheet. And I just want to see like how much I'm capable of reading. The reason why I want to read a lot, well, I do have my competition coming up, and like 1 week before the competition, I am not supposed to get a lot of work done because I'm supposed to like decrease stress. So reading is going to be perfect for that. But also I just want to see, you know, how much I'm capable of reading, you know, and I want to read lots of books that I haven't finished yet. Like even though I've gotten a lot better at finishing reading books, I still feel like, you know, I could be reading a lot more. And I think I'm also going to waste less time because it's still like, you know, in the evening when I don't have anything scheduled, it's still very easy for me to be on my phone and mess around, you know, even though I've gotten better at that. I think it's just more fun to, you know, read books than, you know, to, I don't know, look at travel articles that are not really going to change my life in any way. So those are things that we're working on. I'll give you more updates like this in the future. Maybe I'll do like a January review in one of the videos. I don't know. But this has definitely been fun. So we're doing more of this like raw version of like the road to 7 figures where it's completely unscripted. And I'm really sharing the things that I'm, you know, going on in my life. And oh, I also made an igloo on my terrace, which you can't see right now. But maybe there's going to be a photo that I'll post somewhere. But yeah, that was another fun winter activity, like building an igloo. That was definitely a lot of fun. So yeah, those are my scattered thoughts in a very rambly way. Let me know what you think of this video. Is it good? Is it shit? I want to hear either way. And I'm not going to say the next video is coming tomorrow because I don't know if it is. But when I have more fun, more exciting stuff to talk about, I'm definitely letting you guys know about it. Take care and have a phenomenal week. And I'll see you all guys soon. And hopefully I'll have a new haircut by then because this is really not good. And on that note, see you next time.